Now guys, it's come to my attention that Braquinho has gone missing. Yes, my brick partner in crime, the guy that I talk to every single day on this channel, went missing. And that's why I've just been AWOL on this channel, gone ghost. I just haven't made a single video. And I don't understand. Today we're going to be tackling Liverpool because they might actually be finished. Liverpool just lost yesterday to Crystal Palace in the League Cup 3-0. And watching the game, they got absolutely dominated, but also the naivety from Arne Slot to put out such a young team, an inexperienced side in this sort of game, a game where, you know, his 11 men needed a bounce back. This is where you get your confidence up. You know, you want to make it to the later stages. You want to win a cup. But no, he went in weak against Crystal Palace, who can be ruthless and at times were ruthless in the game, and was punished once again. How many times has it been where Palace have come up against Liverpool and Palace have dominated them? Ismaila Sarr being a constant problem throughout the game and causing trouble for the Liverpool defence. This guy has been a running problem for Liverpool in their history. I swear, back when he was at like Watford, he scored a goal against Liverpool when they were at the peak of their Premier League reign. But this result was just one on top of multiple games where this Liverpool side has failed to deceive, failing to impress the eager eyes that were going into this season. We wanted to see the likes of Wirtz, Isak, Ekitike all linking up, playing this dynamic football. This could have been the new Liverpool dynasty that would lead them into future generations. But so far, it's looking absolutely fraudulent. This early season optimism that we had has turned into a full-blown crisis. They have now lost 6 of their last 7 games in all competitions. This is not a joke anymore, including an unprecedented run of 4 straight defeats in the league. And I guess you could say that they bounced back in their Champions League game against Frankfurt, but no, those aren't the fixtures that you need to be winning right now. You need to get your form in tip-top shape in this Premier League, because this is the most competitive league in the world. You have slipped up multiple times this season and have actually reached the same amount of losses that you had the entirety of last season, a season in which you won the entire competition. And this crisis that Liverpool have been going through started quite early on in the season. The 27th of September was their first major loss, losing to Crystal Palace 2-1, with a late stoppage time winner by Eddie Nketiah bridging the gap and getting Crystal Palace over the line to upset Liverpool fans. Then they would suffer a shock defeat to Galatasaray, losing 1-0 in the Champions League, and at the hands of Osimhen, who could have had about 3 goals in the game, but was clinical. Is that a word? Unclinical? He was just not clinical enough. Then on the 4th of October, their misery would continue when they lost 2-1 to Chelsea at Stamford Bridge. And not only would they lose to Chelsea, they would also lose to Manchester United, a side that the entire world has been clowning, for the last season. Just every single thing that you see online is hatred towards Manchester United, the form, their manager, the guy that's growing out his hair. Bro, they couldn't even beat this side, with the likes of Brian Mbeumo scoring and Harry Maguire scoring a late finish to win the game. Harry Maguire, you guys let this happen. Then just before this game against Crystal Palace that we started the video talking about, they would lose 3-2 to Brentford in the Premier League, their most recent result as of making this video. Their defensive frailties were on clear display, but it also didn't help that Brentford were doing prime haram ball, throwing the ball in at any given opportunity into the box. They were doing headers, they were doing elbows, they were doing anything to get the result. And it worked out for them because they would win the game despite Mo Salah finally scoring his first goal of the Premier League season. And at this point in the season, Liverpool are sitting at 7th in the Premier League table, 9 games in with 5 wins and 4 losses. They are 7 points behind Arsenal already. That doesn't even make sense. Like, Arsenal are good this season, they are unstoppable, but 7 points at this stage is just incredible, especially considering that Liverpool actually won against Arsenal at the start of the season. Like, going off that game alone, you would think maybe Liverpool are better than Arsenal, but no. Defensively, Arsenal are just stronger. At set pieces, they are a threat wherever they go. And again, their attack is a mismatch of different players, but slowly but surely they are finding their feet throughout the entirety of this season. But this isn't a video about Arsenal. Liverpool's form has been impacted by the likes of Alisson getting an injury against Galatasaray, an implosion in form from the likes of Ibrahim Konate, an uncertainty at fullback with the likes of Trent Alexander-Arnold obviously going to Real Madrid, and Liverpool not making the sufficient enough signings to replace him in that right back position. Similar to their left back position in Milos Kerkez, because realistically, that wasn't the guy that they needed. Now, looking back on it, and we can all say going into the season that Kerkez was an amazing signing, but then we have to humble ourselves and say it hasn't been the best start. And Robertson has actually come in and looked a bit more secure in the left back role that he made his own for many seasons. Now they've kind of stripped it back. You know, these two signings that they were supposed to have on either side of the flank have dropped to the bench. Connor Bradley's coming right back and Robertson is coming in left back and just playing games. These are two guys that were in the squad last year. Wirtz has been brought in, but has been played in every single position in the front line. Hasn't got a consistent, spell at the right wing slot where he actually played really well in times that you've seen him there. And Salah has started off this season in absolutely dreadful form, in contract form. This is what happens when you sign a big money contract, you turn into Aubameyang. Aubameyang, after he signed the contract to Arsenal, do you guys remember? He just completely went like this and fell off the face of the earth. And Van Dijk in this weakened back line has failed to marshal it because, these are not his peak years, but he's also not proved himself to be the greatest like a lot of us claim, even me. And not only is the likes of Wirtz misfiring as a big money signing, but the likes of Isak has had multiple games now where he's played the full 90 minutes, but he's just not really done anything. And now he's suffering with an injury and he's just dropped out the entire side. Ekitike has been the man up top for Liverpool, but again, Ekitike can be in form. He can be the guy that you look to. But if you don't have consistent players that he's playing with up top, he's never going to get the best out of himself because he doesn't really know the right passes to make, the right runs to do. Sometimes he's playing with Salah, other times he's playing with Wirtz, other times he's playing with Chiesa, then you got Gakpo, they're all trying to fight for the same positions on the pitch. It just doesn't really work. But Ekitike seems to always find a space and a goal and a bit of link-up play. He drops in deep. He's really, really good. But again, Liverpool aren't maximising his ability by playing guys that are not going to do any running in behind. Salah is always going to pass up an opportunity to not square the ball. He's going to try and shoot himself. He's a greedy bugger. But yeah, Liverpool are in crisis. And I think Arne Slot really has to find his team's identity. Was last season just a fluke? Did he just have Klopp's side? Did he just inherit an amazing team that were already ready to win? Or, is it an amalgamation of many things? Is it the tactics being changed? Is it players being injured? Is it, the off-field things that happened to this Liverpool side, losing, a key part of their team in a very harsh manner? We will never know, but this team is built of world-class potential. Players that have proved that they can win a league and that can have a winning mentality. So we must not doubt Liverpool and we must just wait and find out what will happen next. There are many big games for Liverpool coming up. They have obviously a Premier League game coming up, but next week they have a game against Real Madrid in the Champions League, obviously league phase. And that is going to be a test because they need to really get a win in the Premier League and then bounce back in the Champions League against a top side where they can make their mark. But yeah, hopefully Bruquinho will be back next video. I'll be making a lot more videos about anything that you guys comment or DM me on Instagram or things like that. So make sure you stay up to date with this channel. I'm going to be posting as much as I can. Obviously all unscripted stuff. And yeah, stay safe, stay blessed, and peace. Bruquinho, where are you?